Action. What's up, everybody? This is Bananas Unpeeled. Jesse Cole, Jared Orton. We are in the bowels of Grayson Stadium. This is episode 497.4.
Yes.
We've totally lost track of all episodes, and we have no idea what we're talking about. But we are going behind the scenes again. We are bringing on a special guest, a guy who has totally been our friend from day one, and we have no idea why he was our friend from day one, and that's what we're going to find out today. We are bringing on the big guy, Frank Sulkowski from WJCL, a legend in Savannah, and that's going to be our episode today. We are going behind the scenes with the media. What are you excited about today?
I think that was the key for us, to team up with a legend in the beginning, because when we came here, we didn't know anybody, and we were like, all right, this guy's a legend, and then we met him, and we were like, all right, we actually like him too.
You go ahead.
And no, it was a win-win, and so, I think making the media your friend and being friends with the media, that's something that we never knew anything about in our previous teams. There was barely any media where we were from.
Exactly. That's what I want to say. Like, give people the backstory of like where we came from, the markets, like 50,000 person towns. We are not used to all these cameras, all the coverage, all the excitement. Like, give people that first glimpse of like, what the heck were we walking into?
Yeah. So where we started back in Gastonia in 2008, there was just one newspaper.
Yep, same thing. When I was in Burlington, one newspaper.
There was Charlotte and all the media, but Charlotte didn't come to Gastonia.
No.
In our 10 years there, we had one actual media piece from a news station, and so we weren't used to that. Yep. And then we had the Martinsville team for 3 years, which there was just one newspaper. Yep. So I remember when we came here in July, and it was a city council meeting, just a city council to approve the lease for these unknown guys, this college summer team to come. And as soon as they approved it, I had 3 cameras in my face. I was like, what is happening? Yeah. And it was amazing. And I was like, wow, yeah, we're here. They're like, well, tell us more about you guys. Because no one knew who we were.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow. And I remember I stepped away from that. I called Emily. I was like, Emily, you won't believe this. Like, this is the real deal. Like, we're in a real media market. Like, we can have fun with this.
Yeah, I'll never forget when we first hired Sean West, and then we started putting out to the media like, hey, we've hired Sean West, he's our new coach. And then they were all asking like, oh, when's he going to be in town? When's his press conference going to be? Like, can we get him on the phone? Can we get him on the radio interview? And I was like, Sean, this is a little bit scary. I know you're coming from, UT Dallas, but like, welcome to Savannah. Everyone wants to talk to you. Like, can you like give people any sort of idea, like, what was it like starting to meet these people and then having them to like understand our story? Like, how did we get across, hey, here's who we are, here's what we're about. We're not a baseball team. We're all about entertainment. Take people through that backstory of like educating the media on who we were.
Well, I think it's so important, no matter what shoes you're in, especially in business, to always think like a reporter.
Yeah.
And this is something I put myself in their shoes. I go, what makes us interesting? What makes us different?
Yeah.
If we're like everyone else, the same baseball team as everyone else, that's not a great story. So immediately I started leading like, hey, this is like a circus and a baseball game breaks out. And they're like, what do you mean? I go, well, our players do choreographed dances. You never know what's going to happen during a game. It's wild. And they're like, what is this?
Yeah.
But it started creating some talking points. Now, still, no one believed in us at this point because no one had ever seen it. Yeah. And I think that's so important. If you're going to talk about something, being different, you got to make sure you deliver it. So we had a lot of accountability and responsibility in ourselves to put that on when we came there. So it was exciting, but I'll tell you, as we bring on Frank, working with him and teaming up with him from the beginning was one of the best decisions that we did at the Bananas, because I'll tell you, we learned so much from him, as much as probably he learned from what the heck we were doing at the ballpark.
Yeah, 1,000%. And when we first got here, the people were telling us, you got to talk to him. You at least got to talk to him, see if he'll come, MC an event for you, give a speech. Like, you've got to go talk to him. We were like, we got nothing to lose at this point. We have this unnamed Savannah Baseball 2016 team. We need some friends. We've got to bring them as a part of our team. And so that's what this episode is going to be about. We're going to bring on Frank here, and he's going to give you some behind-the-scenes access. We've got some crazy questions, some crazy stories, and hopefully he comes up with some crazy ideas on what he might want to see coming up this season with the Savannah Bananas.
Awesome.
The big guy, Frank Sulkowski. First question, where does that nickname come from?
Actually, the big guy just came out of the blue when I came to Savannah. Everybody said, I came in for my first interview at WJCL, and my news director, as soon as I walked in, said, wow, you are a big guy. And it just kind of stuck from there. I mean, nobody ever called me.
Not a good way to introduce someone as a new employee.
Yeah, my future boss says, wow, you are a big guy. Well, thank you.
Thank you so Glad to be here.
Looking forward to joining the team.
So I'm fascinated. What year did you come to Savannah?
Actually came to Savannah in 2006 to start being the sports director at WJCL.
And so you made yourself a pretty big, using a big term, a well-known personality. What did you do, to start becoming this really face of the media scene in Savannah? How did you build your persona?
It's very similar to the way you guys approached your business. As soon as I got here, I knew I had to be ingrained in anything and everything sports. So if I got a call for a scholarship signing for a young lady signing a cross-country scholarship to a small college in Michigan, I was going to be there. If there was a major sporting event, if the gymnastics national championships were coming to Savannah, I was going to be there. I was going to be at everything, big and small, and I wanted to be invested in the lives of the student athletes. I figured it this way. If I started covering the kids at the high school level, they're going to get used to watching. They want to see themselves on TV. They're going to see their highlights. You're going to share their stories. Their parents are going to share their stories. Well, then the aunts and the uncles are going to be tuning in. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? Those kids are now grown-ups.
Yeah.
When I started, they had their own children. They had their own families. They own their own businesses.
Wow.
And they're so used to watching you that's how you start a trend. You snowball it.
That's a long-term play.
Yeah, so you built a following, but one kid, one person at a time.
That's how you guys put about it.
And the relationship. I mean, it was all about this because you're still, I'm sure, texting and talking to these players that you covered many years ago.
Yeah, and the biggest compliment I can get from folks too, outside of the coverage, is I had an old lady, about 89 years old. She came up to me. She's like, Frank, the reason why I watch you, I don't even like sports, but you just seem like someone I could go drink a beer with. Greatest compliment you can get. That is the.
Wait, did you not go grab a beer with her?
I said if she was buying, but she was, on a fixed income, so I don't think she allotted the drinks that night. Exactly. So it was one of those things where you just get ingrained in a community. If this is going to be your home, get involved in your home. You want to take care of what's in your own backyard, and that's the way I approached it. I just approached it with high school sports, with club schools. I can remember my first week on the job. I went out to a Savannah College of Art and Design softball game. This is when they still had softball. And I went out there, and the players and the coaches and the administration from SCAD freaked out. They're like, what are you here for? I'm like, I'm here to cover your game. They're like, we've never had a television station come out and cover. I'm like, well, tonight you're going to be the top story in our sportscast. And they freaked out. And from that point on, I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is going to be me. I am going to get out to everything and the colleges, big or small. And if I do a sportscast in a day and it's not 80% local, what's happened right here in the Coastal Empire and Low Country, I haven't done my job for the day.
Wow. See, this all makes so much sense now
because
you just care about all these people. And so when we had two strangers call you of this new team, you're like, I might as well. This could be a softball. I don't know what it is. But no, seriously, does that go into the room? Because you could have been very skeptical on who these guys are and what they're doing, but you said, of course I'll meet with you guys and see how I can help.
And when you first called, and then I talked to Jared after that, it was we're a college wood bat team. Well, first of all, I'm a baseball fan. Let's be honest. I love baseball. And I knew Savannah was hungry still for something.
Right.
And you guys were going to bring this product, and as I learned, it was baseball, but it was more than baseball. It was actually a little bit of baseball with a lot of entertainment. You were quirky. You were different. I love that. Let's be honest. I walk around and I don't look like your typical sports guy or even a news person. I'm large. I'm not.
That's the theme of the show so far.
I'm not well dressed. I'm not well groomed. I have no fashion sense. Have no style. And I'm like, you know what? If these guys have this idea, let's hear them out. Let's do this. And then when we started learning more and more about it, I was excited because I knew the community would be excited, and if they're excited, everybody wins, and that's the way you approach it.
That's amazing.
Take us back 3 years ago when we were starting to really come into this community. What were you hearing? So this show is for Bananas fans and people in this community. Like, what were you hearing that we probably weren't hearing? You were the first person that emceed our event at the Trade and Convention Center.
With only 150
people showed up. Obviously, we'll get to the Bananas launch, but what were you hearing those first 4, 5, 6 months that maybe we weren't hearing as a team?
Well, the big thing was people were what is it?
Gotcha.
What is it? Is this a minor league team? Who's their affiliate?
Yeah.
And I said you had to think beyond that. It's not an affiliate. It's not a major league team. These are going to be college athletes. Well, are they going to get paid? It was all, how does it work? Because let's remember, we're down here in Savannah. Not everybody's a baseball fan. Yeah. They don't understand how it works. They don't understand the Cape Cod League. Some of the people, their only interaction with college Wood Bat Summer League may have been what was the Freddie Prinze Jr. movie?
Yes, Summer Catch.
Summer Catch. That's about their only understanding they know, and that's what they thought of when they think Summer Wood Bat League. Yeah. Well, it's very productive. See, when you have minor league baseball was here, that's a business, and you guys are running a business, but you're also a family. There, it was so much about getting the reps. Those guys got to get so many at bats, so many innings pitched, because there's an investment in those guys. Yeah. You guys have an investment as far as loving the guys who you're bringing in and giving them their reps as well, because it's a very important part of the baseball process, what these guys are getting done here. Yeah. But also, I think what's amazing is these kids who are coming in are playing in front of crowds that some of these kids have never played in front of.
Oh, it's insane. I remember one of our very first games, the guy who was pitching had played in front of like 45 fans, like for his entire life. Like, that was his biggest crowd.
So on
opening nights, 4,000 people.
Exactly. I mean, that's part of it. And I think that's a part that is often overlooked. It's so much baseball, what's going on between the lines. But there's more to it. It's what's going on outside. It's the interaction with the fans. Once the athletes understand that those fans, that community they're playing in, is very important to their evolution, their growth as an athlete, that's big, because they're going to remember how they were treated by the community and their fans. And when they get to the big leagues, or if they ever get to that point, the highest level, they're going to remember the lessons they learned as far as communication skills with the fans. And it's a big part of their growth as a player.
You know what I'm realizing? The huge similarities between the news world and the baseball world, in the sense that most newscasters, they leave from place to place. Yeah. They don't invest the time in the long game. And so you look at a lot of these minor league teams, the players are here, hopefully for a year, and then move on. But where we have to play the long game. That's what we're trying to build. And you, unlike all newscasters, I mean, with 13 years now in Savannah, playing the long game on the relationships, and I'm sure your happiness, the respect, the relationships, the same thing that we're trying to grow. There's amazing similarities. I've never thought about that, but that's really how you win and enjoy the game. Yeah, that's what it's about.
You're exactly right. In the end game, you're looking for the long game. Yeah. You're investing in that community and the things that are happening there because you're part of it and you want to be there for the long run. Yes. A lot of people, especially in the television industry, very similar to baseball, you may go to a team for a couple years. Yes. And then you're on to your next step. Yes. You're trying to progress up the ladder. Yes. Well, not everybody says Savannah is going to be my final stop in television. Yeah. For me, I always wanted Savannah to be my final stop. So that took out of the equation everything else.
But wherever you go, I'm sure you put it into it like it could be your final spot. I'm going to go to every little softball game, signing, etc. I love that.
That's really cool. Yeah. All right, so then we go to February 25th. And we have this idea that we're going to, announce this new name.
Did you know?
I did not know.
Did you have any idea?
What was your thought? What did you think it was going to be? Before we announced it, what was your intuition?
There were some great names out there. And
Party Animals.
We thought it would probably go maybe something with the industry, the ports, the pilots, something that would go with Savannah and the shipping and what it means to our area. Never once did we think the Bananas.
And then there's that famous news clip of you on the 11 o'clock news, open your chest, and you got the banana shirt, and I don't remember who it was.
The news looked into the camera.
We both were just like, oh my gosh. And we were all just like, oh no, what have we got ourselves?
I tried to keep it quiet. I didn't want to release, I wanted to bury the lead a little bit.
What were those internal conversations like between the news team and all the other, you got tons of friends that are across the state in the media, what were those
Because you came out as a supporter. Oh, you were wearing the shirt. He was a supporter.
You were the MC that night.
I'm all in. I'm a banana. At that point, I'm all in, whatever.
So what were other people telling you, friend, this is crazy? What are you doing over there?
That's funny, because you guys saw it on social media, and you guys did, even the mean tweets, the Bananas edition. That's some of the stuff we were hearing. I could hear it at the reveal that night. Yeah. We're here at Grayson Stadium. We're underneath, we're there by the concession stand in the main, and you could hear the grunts and the moans. You could hear, there was some cheering. Yes. But then there were segments that are like, oh boy. Oh boy. And then you have the true baseball purists that love Grayson Stadium. They want just baseball played at Grayson Stadium. Bananas. Oh boy. What's in a name? That's what I said. I'm like, hey, what does it matter what the name is? It's the idea, it's what is going to be put on display. Again, it doesn't matter what your house looks like, it's the love that's inside that house that matters. And so I was like, hey, Bananas, all right, great, let's do this. And then I saw the logo, I'm like, oh, I know where they're going with this. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good. I mean, because it didn't ride, but I heard a lot of the same things. Man, that's going to be an embarrassment to Savannah.
Yeah.
Savannah Bananas, we're going to be the laughing stock. Well, I'm like, we haven't even taken the field yet. We haven't announced one player yet, and you're saying we're going to be the laughing stock. I'm like, there's more to it than a name. But I saw the logo, I saw what you guys are doing, and the passion and the excitement. I was like, this is going to work.
Yeah.
At that point, when we unveiled the name, there was never any doubt that it wasn't going to be sold out the first game. I knew.
You believed it?
I believed
Wow.
it. I knew from that.
We could have used a lot more of you, Frank.
I know. I knew from the minute you guys announced it, I'm like, okay, this is going to go over really well. Because Savannah is just that. It's quirky.
Yeah.
It's eclectic. If you walk through Savannah, you can't tell me that everybody you look like is a darn banana.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's so different. I mean, I think what helps that is you have the Savannah College of Art and Design. You have such a wide variety there. Then you have the folks who have been in Savannah their entire lives. Then you have the transplants who have come in here and lived the majority of their lives. Then you have the tourists. Then I'm like, it's such a melting pot that why not? I mean, we're a unique place.
Yeah.
Let our baseball team be unique.
Well, the reality is, I think what you did, listening to your broadcast, you have fun, and everyone needs more fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we realized. It's like, let's bring the fun, let's have some fun, and embrace it. And I think the people that were challenging it, maybe they were just questioning the amount of fun that they wanted at a baseball park.
Well, and see, I had a chance to see what was here when minor league baseball was here. I remember the last game the Savannahs played here. You're playing the last game of that franchise in this facility, and there were a couple hundred people there.
Right.
And I mean, the rain didn't help and everything else, but still, I knew that it could be more.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think I talked about it in the documentary that we put out, kind of the history. It was one of those things where it felt like work when you were coming to a baseball game. It was actually funny because you guys start playing usually in the sports, especially in sports fields, dinner time. Let's be honest, a 7 o'clock start. We get done with the 6 o'clock news. Yeah. We have that time to cover stories or eat before we come back into the 11 o'clock. So there were some days where coming to cover minor league baseball was a hassle, where you're like, I would get off the set at 6 o'clock and I'm like, do I go cover the Savannahs tonight or do I go get Taco Bell? And there would be some nights I would.
That's a great clip.
I promise. Yeah, Taco Bell if you need advertising. There were some days I would be coming down Victory Drive, and then I'd say, nah, not tonight. God. And so I would just keep on going by, and I ended up at the IHOP with a stack of a stack of pancakes.
That's incredible.
But now it's like, you can't wait to get to the Bananas game because you never know what you're going to miss. Something may happen before the game even starts. I got to get off the set to the Bananas game.
Is there a story, besides the name, is there a story that sticks out in your mind like that was one of your favorite stories to tell or
moment
cover
at the ballpark,
or moment at the ballpark?
Oh, boy, there's been so many, and that's what's so refreshing. Yeah. The kilts. Yeah. Kilts is still one of my favorites because you guys did such a great job keeping that quiet. Just be here. We're gonna announce something. There was no. That's what you guys do such a great job with today's world with social media stuff. You guys still keep it quiet because see, I take pride in getting scoops but you guys, even though we're friends and we work together and we've known each other for a good while now, you guys just don't tell me anything.
What we're trying to figure out is how do we continue to give the media like that they're a part of what we're doing here. If you remember Rex from across the street,
Castillo.
We literally allowed Rex Castillo to run the PA and be the announcer for the night and run the music. And he was like, I've never done this before. Like, I never realized that all of this went into it. And he had a whole other appreciation for, and so then he wanted to do backstories on host families and, other stories that people don't realize. I think that's what's cool for Bananas fans is Frank and some of these other people in this community get to tell some really fun, creative stories that people are super interested in, and then they just get to give another lens to it. And that's just what's so fun about you guys being a part of it.
And you know what's so funny about the media, too, is, we may work at different stations and we may be competition, but we're all kind of in that same fraternity. Yeah. We work the same hours. We deal with the same issues. So one person does a story, and then you're like, dang, that was a good story. I got to outdo him and come up with something else. And so that's what it is. You try to up each other, and you try to, up each other's game. And so somebody will do a story on, Rex would do one with dancing with the first base coach.
Yes.
You're like, dang, I wanted to do that story.
Now I got to go be the first base coach.
Yeah, now I got to come up with something crazy. I want to be split for a game. You got to come up with something completely off. and that way you're continuing to challenge each other. And you guys actually make us better journalists because you're trying to think outside the box, come up with a new perspective or angle for a story instead of just, here are some baseball highlights.
So then what's your one thing you want to get this year?
I'll give an option too.
There's a couple things I want to do, and I don't want to reveal anything because
the competition will pick it up.
This is interesting. We've actually did talk a little bit before behind the scenes, so now we've built this relationship, sharing a little bit. But the Bananas this year, we're gonna have the first male cheerleading team. So we did unveil that early.
Got a ton of signups already.
We had people coming to us that want to be at it.
That's scary.
Yes, so there is
literally come in the office.
There is an opportunity for you to be a Manana for one night. As Big Frank joining the Bananas. I think
that's our question for everybody today. Would you like to see Frank Sulkowski be a part of the Bananas?
For one night. One night, he gets to cover it. The big guy.
Is there a team uniform?
Oh, there will be uniforms.
Are we well covered?
We don't know the whole answer to that.
All right, I'm going to get into the idea box.
All right.
We're going to break out some ideas. Never know where these go. I've cursed already on...
Wait, who have put these ideas in there?
I just throw things in there.
So good luck.
Okay.
These are more tame.
All right, the idea is the Plantains, developing a kids' boy band to perform at all Bananas games. I get it. Wait, the Plantains, that's not a small banana.
No, the problem is it's actually a big banana, but they're usually green.
Yes, they are.
And Plantains is like a cool name. So I don't know there's no such thing as a baby banana, but I think...
there are baby bananas.
But are they called baby bananas?
Yes.
But that's not, I don't want to call, I'm thinking like a Plantain sounds like the Temptations, or it sounds like a really cool dancing group. But if we had a young group that think of the Jackson 5 back in the day, What are you, Jonas Brothers, what do you think, Frank?
I like the idea. I think you open it up with a contest to start off. Who wants to be the official boy band of the Savannah Bananas? Who wants to be making the Plantains?
We have dance teams. We already have a band.
We need a singing
Bananas.
group.
We need a boy band would be interesting.
We need no other team has a boy band.
I don't know.
So there is no, what's the name for a baby banana? Just a baby banana.
Yeah, I don't think if there was, we would have already done it.
Because like the little corns that you get in your salad. Is that still corn?
Baby corn?
Baby
corn? I don't know. You just throw baby in front of it. But we don't want to call a boy band the Baby Bananas.
No, Plantains.
All right, guys, if you have any ideas on what we could call our new boy band group this year, the Plantains is a great name for something. But you're right, they usually are bigger. So maybe they could, I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Pre-game haka before every game. Foul line versus howling. You're a football guy. Did you guys do these types of
I'm old school. We didn't do that.
Intentional
No, but the haka, you get some really good ones. You would really need to invest in some Samoan outfielders. That would be big.
But I'm thinking right before the game starts, the foul line and the foul line, they're lined up and they do a haka back and forth at each other. I mean, whew.
But these opposing teams are already so confused when they come here anyway.
So we just do the haka at them.
And they're just going to be, they don't know what's going on.
Well, the whole point of the haka is it's one versus nobody. The New Zealand team or whatever, the All Blacks that do it, it's them and the other team just has to eat. They just have to wear it.
You just take it.
Yeah.
So then you're going to have the Bananas do a whole haka out there on the line. So you got this team. You got that going on one direction. On top of their dugout, you got the Grim Reaper. Yeah. There's chaos going on.
Good luck playing here.
Yeah. Wow. Talking about some home field advantage.
Pre-game haka. Dog and pony show night. We literally give away dogs and ponies.
All night. I just keep it simple. Everyone says it's a dog and pony show at the ballpark, so why don't we actually just give away dogs and ponies?
There's the Cowboy Monkey Rodeo.
Yes.
That is an electric promotion. So is this be similar to that?
I don't know. Everyone says you got to give away ponies. They used to do this back in the 80s. And I don't know, if we give away 10, 12, 15 ponies, see what happens.
That could be costly. Ponies aren't cheap.
No, you make a trade.
What about, maybe we name them all Little Sebastian.
Is that what the name of My Little Pony?
No, shout out to Parks and Rec. Anybody watching?
I thought you were a My Little Pony reference.
No, Little Sebastian.
No, that's Applejack. And
Frank, you see on the last one, we're getting low now. We've had 10 episodes now. That's 30 or 40 different ideas. So we're getting low on our totem pole, but we still got some in us.
Here's what I want to finish on this conversation here. How would you change baseball?
How would I change baseball? Ooh. I think all baseball should be Bananas baseball.
How so?
What does that mean?
I just think I think professional baseball at the highest level needs to give fans more.
Yeah.
And I think, going to a baseball game is great, but there's got to be value in it. I want to be able to go to to a Major League Baseball game and have unlimited chicken sandwiches. Yeah.
Same.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I want to be able to, if all I want to eat, if I want to go get an extra cookie, I'm going to go get an extra cookie.
Yeah.
I think you start getting value when it costs a family of 4 hundreds of dollars to go watch a baseball game, something's wrong. I mean, you know, the average family can't afford that. They can't do that.
Yeah.
And so I think whether lowering ticket prices or lowering the food or giving a family a package deal where you get meals and tickets, I think the value for that, I also think, and you guys have shown it, is moving the game along faster. I know we're trying to make some things and develop that as well,
Right.
but yeah, I think that's big, and I think more interaction with the fans. I think the player interaction. I mean, I don't think we're going to see, you know, Bryce Harper, you know, going on a date with somebody in the stands. It's not going to happen.
It would go viral.
It would go viral.
viral.
But I think that's the way. I mean, in today's, everybody likes outlandish. Everybody likes to slam dunk.
That's what I'm going to say from a media perspective. Does it make it impossible to cover a 4-hour baseball game? You know
It's
what I mean?
tough. I mean, it's tough, and that's just it. You go to a baseball game like that, and for the media, you go basically, and when you're at a major league level, first of all, you're not shooting the highlights. You're not allowed to do that. So basically, you sit and watch a game, and then you get post-game reaction. That's a long time to invest into one baseball game, especially with how long their season is. So it's one of those things where, you know, a shorter season. You guys have two halves, and you know within that period you have to win some games or you're not going to go to the playoffs. Same thing with professional baseball. I think it's just too long. How about we split it in two halves, and there's a first half champ, there's a second half champ, and then we play a championship series to go into the playoffs.
Yeah, how do you make games more interesting, more fun? And that's what it comes down to, and shorter as well, because obviously we talked about they're too long. My question for you, Frank, is there anything that, from your perspective, you've seen all these games as a fan and media, is there anything like you would be intrigued or looking forward to be a part of in the years to come with the Bananas? To put yourself in our shoes, and what would you want to be a part of and lead?
I tell you what, I think what I'm most excited about is just the simple fact of what's next. I actually want to sit in some brainstorming, and I'm starting to see what this idea box, because some of the things you guys come up with, it's like, where does this come from? Yep. Because, I mean, see, I get my best ideas when I'm laying in bed at the end of the night and I'm like just looking up, and that's when my ideas come. Or if I'm driving, on a long trip. Yes. But you guys get them so often. I want to know.
Most of them aren't that good. Just
but what's in your vending machines here? Because you guys come up with some of the most outlandish things, and I just like watching that evolution. I think that's what in the years to come, I really want to see more of the behind the scenes type thing. Because let's be honest, I'm not going to have these looks forever, and so television may not be in my future. I may want to be part of this and branch this out. I mean, I know there's a lot of other media markets and a lot of places that would love to have something like this.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. We appreciate it. I think it's one of the things we're looking at. How do you give access and show things that everyone gets to see?
Right.
Whatever's normal, do the exact opposite. And everyone's been showing baseball the same way for many, many years. Yep. And so how do you get it more fan first, fan centric? And I'll tell you, watching you and the way that you've supported us over the last 3 years has meant the world, because we've been able to do a lot of things that we've never thought we could do because of support from people like you. So we're just floored, excited to have you on the show on episode 6,212, I think.
That's it.
I can't believe it took that long to get me on here.
He was a B-list guest on
Yes.
Exactly. Well, that's the show, guys. That's Bananas Unpeeled, sponsored by Johnny's Chicken and Waffles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Frank Sulkowski, Jesse Cole, Jared Orton. That's a wrap.